forget that we did speed up how quickly the curtain drops.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I got another second. It's like, no, you are ready now.
And you have your blue rectangle, 3 blue rectangles are good.
We do. We've got those going. Thank you for double checking on that, though. That is always a good thing. Welcome, everybody, in. It is Thursday afternoon for us, evening for others. It is time for some About Beverages podcasting.
It's time for that.
We've got a 4-pack of things tonight. We've got one of 3 3 3/4.
Well, we have two things two will become one.
2 will become kind of one, but they are 2 separate entities.
We don't need to try one of them by itself because we know what that tastes like. We may have even done the wine before.
Have we?
I know one of the other ones I was considering, I'm pretty sure we have done before, but I don't know about this one.
Okay. Let me see exactly. For anybody there in chat, the Beverage Bros, Paco. How's it going? Paco is in far off lands right now. She is not in her home state.
Our home state?
Our home state. The home state of where she calls home, at least right now. She is far and wide. She's actually in that ProneCon. There is a small gathering of friends and fellow streamers and stuff like that has gotten together around someone, and they're hanging out as we speak. Are you there? You're there right now. Were you invited
for that?
I was actually.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to get on a plane.
Okay. It can be done.
It could be done. Also, it was either that or Oceanside Beach.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It was either rural Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Or Oceanside Beach.
Okay.
You helped me make the choice.
Well, it's good that you at least you were thought of.
I was. It was very
maybe
nice.
Next time.
No, I actually got Prone actually reached out to me and invited me. Like I said, Lucky invited me because Lucky's there. Lucky and Paco and Chucky, a lot of other. Yeah, it would have been really cool.
Yeah.
4 people wore Corona shirts today, and Prone hung a Corona flag in our RV. Great. Oh my God. Yeah, they have he's got land in a barn, and it's actually really cool. It's like he and his wife and his kids and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really neat. I would like to do that sometime. That would be kind of fun.
So is everybody watching us right now?
I don't know. Are you? I know. Shoot. We gotta get professional. Well, we probably should open a beer then.
We should
do that then.
We'll
at
open
least
something.
Baker, how's it going? Good to see you. Cheers to
Baker.
you. So this was a late addition to some extent.
Late addition. Yeah.
Where did this come from?
Came from the distributor Scout. No, actually, it's Scout Distributing.
His name is
Scout?
But
it came from Tombstone. Tombstone Brewing.
Oh, okay.
Trader Joe's.
So
Trader Joe's.
So it's a blonde ale. This is called
Good Enough.
Okay. Apparently, it might be after a Van Halen song.
It's a Sammy Hagar, Van Hagar song from the first album without David Lee Roth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the 5150.
Did you own that on album?
Cassette.
Okay.
Had it on cassette. Yes.
So that is light,
and it says
that might make Corona look dark.
It says it's an ale, but I think it uses lager yeasts, but at a warmer
cold
temperature.
No, cold.
No, colder. Okay.
Yeah, this is actually German Pilsner malt, flake maize, touch of classic noble hops, fermented cold and then lagered.
Okay.
So there you go. Had my first margarita yesterday. Happy birthday, Paco. Lucky is good to see you as well. How was your first margarita? Did Lucky make it a good one? Because I'm assuming he's the one that probably made it. I'll have to bartend maybe next year. Maybe that's how we work that out.
It's good that they planned that around Paco's birthday.
It is good.
That was good.
That's delightful.
To celebrate.
There are 3 birthday cakes and a flat of cupcakes, and I've had to threaten Mitch with my flip-flop numerous times. Getting out your chancla. Got to get ready to toss that thing across the room. That's even lighter than I thought it was going to be.
It's light.
I'm not going to lie. I do like things from Tombstone, but usually I like their hoppier or darker things.
That's a little funky.
Yes, that's got a little something to it.
What was the trend a few years ago?
Chili peppers.
The Bloody Basin there was that. Remember, there was that sort of beer. It was a style. Oh God, New Belgium had one. We tried 3 or 4 of them.
Smoky beers?
No, this color reminded me of that. I'll have to go back and look, but there was a beer trend.
Mitch, how's it going? Mitch is also there. Mitch checking in.
Well, we've got built-in audience here, all in one. They're sheltering in place and watching us.
What would ProneCon be watching without us right now? Literally. Wasting away in soup margaritaville. Wow, soup margarita. That's a thick margarita if it's like soup.
It is.
Come have a chicken noodle margarita, please. Chicken noodle. Mitch and Lucky got to experience a Total Wine for the first time. Oh my God. They don't have well, I understand where Lucky wouldn't have a Total Wine, but Mitch, you don't have Total Wines? Mitch is in the East Coast-ish. Please. Frosty, how's it going? Good to see you. You don't have a Total Wine, huh? That's interesting. Although it's not a bad thing. I've heard some negative things about Total Wine. Like they're the kind of place that they go into an area just to knock it out.
Yeah, that's
one
not
of those
cool.
kind of things.
Oh.
Yeah. Order my good shit off the internet, then it takes weeks to get here. I mean, but then you know that the good shit is coming to your front
door.
And
it becomes okay shit by that time.
Yeah.
Unless you need it to age.
That's right.
That's fine.
Yeah, what is... Oh, actually, but this reminded me a little bit because there's almost like a pickle quality. There's like some sort of, because of the brininess to it or something like that. Have you seen that? I think it's in Arizona. There's someone that's gotten famous for making a dill pickle sandwich. And instead of bread, the whole outside is a giant dill pickle.
Oh, like scooped it out and
no, they
filled
like
it with...
So like imagine like a really large pickle.
No, hold on. Okay, insert pickle here. No, insert joke here. Insert pickle joke here.
And then they've just sliced it in half. They've kind of a little bit so that it kind of is round. Almost, it looks like a small French bread. But that is the outside, and then the inside is all of your fixins of turkey and everything else. And it's like they literally at this deli, I was watching this story about it. At this deli there is a line that is specifically if you're getting a pickle sandwich or if you're getting anything else. There are two different lines. Like it's caught on so much. It's crazy. May catch up to Mitch and Once Human by the time he gets back. I know. How long is everybody gone? How long is Prone putting up with all of you is the real question. I kind of like the aroma though. I like the yeastiness, the oddness to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Like the aroma.
Oh, that's good. That's refreshing. It's kind of like a rice beer.
I don't like it.
Really?
My first sip, I was like, ew.
Oh, really?
And then my second sip, I'm like, okay. Well, I got to try it. Have to. It's very thin and.
I mean, what do you expect the blonde ale to be? Maybe my expectations were lower.
I don't know. I expected it to taste good.
Did make shit for everyone I knew was playing earlier. Sans Mitch. Oh, that was nice, Frosty, making some stuff for people.
It's very thin, and there's nothing at the front, and then it kind of hits you with this like little weird back of the tongue sort of bitter.
There's a little bitterness there. That's probably from the. I think I said noble hops.
That's
they were using in here. If anybody is sitting there watching and is interested, this is all the stuff we're having tonight. Quite a few things and a weird cocktail as well. Stay tuned for that. Although a weird cocktail, technically we tried how many years ago?
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving.
Probably 17-ish years ago.
Okay, so before the podcast, before the website even started.
Very possibly beforehand,
Holy shit.
Yeah. I know it was the other house, so has to be, that's, obviously just be 2014 or before, but I'm pretty sure it was a lot earlier than that because I think I was working at the store on Campbell, so that would have been 7, 8, 9, and 10. I was there around the holiday season, so could have been any of those.
There we go.
4 years.
5% ABV, keep cold and recycle. Wow, so not a fan. That's interesting. I'm actually like, it's fine. Like it's not, I wouldn't be like, oh, Keith, can I get a 4-pack of these? Whereas like the Wren House, that one I probably would be like, I need to get another 4-pack of those. Like I like having those around.
Yeah, the big spill
pills. The big spill
or,
pills. Yeah, that one for sure. Oh, you'd make stuff for me too if I were playing the game, Frosty? I may have to take you up on that at some point. In honor of ProneCon, since he is also a St. Louis Cardinals fan, it's probably a good coincidence that I wore my Cub shirt.
There is a 4-game series against the Cardinals this weekend. Cubs Cardinals.
So after the 0-4 we go. They had our number last time. That was bad.
Yeah. Well, one was a rain out, fortunately, I think, in St. Louis.
It's practically
Did we play them against? I can't remember if we played them.
It wasn't as much a rain out as the Cubs players were actually hosing down the field.
They pulled Crash Davis.
Yeah. What was those from?
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, wasn't
but
it?
I heard somebody talking that they actually did that.
That's a real thing?
Been done, yes.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe it was Kevin Millar or somebody said that.
Kevin Millar.
But they actually, did that to get the rain out. Hey.
I follow, do you know who Jeff Pearlman is?
The name's familiar.
Sports writer. He's written a lot of books. He wrote the Walter Payton biography.
I was going to say, is that the guy from Beauty and the Beast?
No.
That's Ron Perlman.
That's Ron Perlman.
Okay, that's it. Okay, all right.
But he wrote that. He wrote the what was it? He wrote the Cowboys, that one about the Cowboys dynasty. So,
Okay.
like, he's written a lot of sports books, but he's also a writer for Sports Illustrated. I follow him on TikTok, and he like every day has like some sort of little inside story and stuff. Sometimes about
that's
baseball.
cool.
He's the one that wrote the famous John Rocker story. That all of a sudden just blew up, where he was, such a horrible person.
Yeah, he was not a good person.
Yeah, that article that he wrote, that was the one that like blew up. He was the person that wrote
so
that.
he did that. Okay.
He did that, like I said, Walter
Didn't
Payton's
he
biography.
got on like the subway or something and started doing
John Rocker?
saying bad things? Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. I think that was
That's
part of
from
it.
the
He spit on
mid-90s?
like a toll booth person as they were driving through, and then complained about going to it was like a thing for, like a charity event or whatever. It was like complaining the whole time, and then he's upset about it. It's like, how dare you? It's like, you literally were an a-hole the whole time. He's like, I just wrote what you did. It wasn't like,
you provided the material.
you provided me the
This
material.
This is not fiction.
But yeah, I actually like saved it because he went through and told like the whole story of what happened. I was like, oh, I should send this Joe Keith. They might like this.
The John Rocker?
Yeah, about him. Not John Rocker telling it, this Jeff.
Oh, right. Yeah. John Rocker's version.
Where is he now?
Dumpster
guarding it somewhere.
I think I was good in the regular season, but then I think he blew a couple things in the playoffs. But
he blew something.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense.
There was the song by
little lemon in here, lemon or lime, kind of middle of the tongue. It was a little tart sour. It just kind of reminds me of like
what was this time?
It reminds me of, they're like, we were about to make a Hefeweizen, and it kind of failed us. We didn't, like, the yeast didn't do the banana clove thing that we wanted it to. So now it's just kind of got this like yeasty, like little tart flavor. But we wanted to make enough money off of it, so we split it. So it's a little more watered down than we also intended it to be. Like, there's like a lot of weird, like, little characteristics going on in this. Again, I would not buy it again, but I didn't dislike it as much as you did immediately. I was like, okay. So was this part of like, you had this on top of like some sort of like mixed case when you sent me the picture?
Oh, I just sent, that was just what else we got in.
Oh, okay. I looked below and I was like, is this a Tombstone mixed pack they have?
No, we ordered no, this is the first Tombstone beer we've ever had at Trader Joe's. So,
which is surprising too, because you guys have been doing less and less beer as of late.
Well, things are kind of bouncing back a little bit. We've had, we've had more options from the one distributor. Scout has the Wren House, Fate. They have some of the Fate
like
stuff.
The Fate
they had, so they've been giving more options, and I know that they do. I wish they would have picked something else from Tombstone, but even besides the fact that even if I'd liked this, I still wish they would have picked something else from Tombstone. But are
you allowed to give or do you ever give feedback? I think I've asked this before.
When
it comes to those kind of things,
I used to care enough to try. No, let me say, I used to.
Care enough.
There was a time where they were listening more, I think, and accepting feedback, but that then you get the beer section leader is the most passionate section leader in every store, and so we get all these suggestions and things like which you'd think they'd rely on that to get maybe the feel of the pulse, but the beer category has gotten less and less important. They focus on other things.
Interesting.
And that really did shrink down, but now we have been getting some more options, and so I like that. I'm happy about that. But overall, it just there were times I would, and then it gets to a point where you either don't get any response or things that happen, and they just kind of like, I'm not gonna worry about this. We're not Trader Joe's, your local beer store, where we're a grocery store that has beer, so I just whatever. But the one of my co-workers, I don't work with her anymore, she's at another store, but I guess she had called them and asked to get the Florecita in.
Oh, nice.
And we did get that. So okay. they are listening, and but
just not for good beer.
To some extent, to some extent, at least there is some feedback being received.
Okay.
So I don't I'm not as focused on it as I once was. It's just like So I'm just happy that we're getting some new things in. This to me is just very. It's like you said. It's like we were gonna do this, and we decided to do this, and we're not quite. And it's just kind of thin overall. And
especially for 5%, it feels like it's 3.5%.
Yeah, it does
like
feel
it's that
very
kind of like it feels like it's not quite Berliner Weiss because that would almost have a little more flavor. But it's kind of like in that like territory a little bit.
Yeah.
Sushi, thank you for the Robert Loggia on-screen celebration. Did it actually work? Because we don't see it here, and I tried to click over.
There was a Robert Loggia.
I hope it worked. No flavor and no alcohol. It's 5% alcohol, which is okay, technically sessionable. There is flavor. It's just not good flavor. It's very okay. There are much better things. Would not recommend. It did? Okay. I tried to click over like... If you're going to do another one, let me know and I can try and click over so Keith can see it. If you do another one, but don't feel you need to.
Robert Loggia celebration?
So Twitch now has these celebration things that you can do. It doesn't show up on our screen because it's not a Stream Elements thing. It's on specifically on here. But they can use bits. Either like, remember when you've seen the big emote of Robert Loggia?
Oh yeah.
That's like 50 cents or whatever. It's like 50 bits or whatever. Like different, so you can do different things. One of the things you can do is you can do a Robert Loggia. So you can click over. All right, I've clicked over. I look over here at this little screen. All right, we're ready. All right, so look at it. See?
Oh my goodness. Whoa. It's like sending a message on an iPhone.
It is, yeah. That's literally what they've done. It's a Loggia explosion.
A Loggia explosion? A Loggia explosion?
A Loggia explosion.
Oh, that's what he used to call it when he and his wife. No. Or it reminds me like of Tangled. You know when they send the lanterns up in the air? The Robert Loggia lanterns that are...
Sushi, thank you for the 100 bits once again. That's hilarious.
That's funny.
So anyway, you can do... And so when you go to do the celebration, you can pick whatever emote you want. You could pick my emotes, which obviously Sushi loves that one. You could pick something else. So you can pick kind of like whatever and it shows up. What was funny the other day, accidentally and not kind of in between, I don't know if they'll have it again, but on Tuesday, Destiny did like a live stream where they were talking about some of the new things that are coming to the game next week. I won't get into all that. But this was obviously, since they were on Twitch, this was on their channel. And all of a sudden, as they're giving their information about stuff, all of a sudden his emotes are just popping up everywhere on the screen. Most of them were some larger content creators. And like everyone was just kind of laughing. And at some point I was like, okay, this is annoying. I can't watch what's actually on. So I flipped over to the YouTube feed because they were on YouTube as well. So then there wasn't anything there. But yeah, at first it was kind of funny. And then also like, okay.
So it wasn't them doing it?
No, they were not. Okay. So people were spending like... And they're giving, and like Bungie, anything they make on Twitch, like I said, for emotes, and which they don't have a lot of that stuff, goes to their foundation. So it's not like it was going, so it was going all to charity. But they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, and the new feature in the game will be, and just think if all of a sudden Robert Loggias were just everywhere as they were talking about it. I did not get to see anyone do a Robert Loggia, but I have requested it next time if they do it. I would love to see Robert Loggia show. I would just like if the chat also was like, who the hell is that? That would bring me some joy. So I have requested everyone save their pennies. Unfortunately, I wouldn't get any of that money, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't encourage that.
Oh yeah,
because it would it goes to charity, whatever. I guess it's fine. All right, so the wine we're going to be having. You want to talk about that? Space. That is all. That's another one you can do. That one we do see. That is the other one you could do, where you do a special highlight. I think it's what it's called. What do they call that?
Oh,
so so message effects, gigantify an emote, or on-screen celebration. So those are the things.
Fairly economical, I guess. It's from
they're fun. They're cute. Okay. I like those.
Does Baker ever send you one of those?
I don't know if I've seen one of those yet.
Oh.
You redeemed Robert Loggia, and then it didn't even show up. See how it is? Do I have that one? Oh, I may have. Did I turn that off? No, that one's here. All right. We're just going to have to fix it. All right. We'll fix that. All right. Tell us about... So we've got a wine, and that wine is then segueing into... kind of a very popular cocktail. So do you want to talk about the wine a little bit while I fix what happened here?
So this, I guess this all started with the cocktail idea, which,
yes.
Yeah. Cause that's what we needed the red to have. But, my wife actually has a coworker who recently went to Spain. Within the last, couple of months went to Spain, and he was talking with her about this cocktail that's very popular there. And so she starts telling me about it, and then she sent me a link, and I said, oh my God. I said, so what it is it's red wine and Coke. And you and I have actually, a coworker of mine, as I was saying before, in the late, maybe say that, aughts, 2007, 8, 9, something like that. He had said to take a bottle of Charles Shaw Merlot, which if you don't know what Charles Shaw is, it's a Trader Joe's $2 chuck, now $3.49 here in Arizona. But
it's
he
about
said,
how much?
About $3.50.
There we go.
And he said, take a bottle of the Merlot and some Coke. It tastes just like a cherry Coke. So we did that at a Thanksgiving celebration many years ago, and by God, if he wasn't right.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was, so that was quite a while ago. So then when she brought this up again, I was like, well, we've done that before, but still thought that's funny, good content. It gives us a chance to, have a little fun, especially red wine during the summer, but it's always red wine drinking season in the tasting room. All these good things come up again. But, I get, and other countries do this as well. I guess Italy does this, and the countries in South America do this as well. So it's not just a Spanish thing. But
what is it called in South America? Did you look that up? What was
it?
It was like called Jesus juice or something like that.
Jesus juice.
Jesus juice.
In Argentina,
yeah.
It's known as Jesus juice. So
it's going to be worse than that time I was stuck behind Robert Loggia at the airport.
May I have your name, please?
Robert Loggia.
Can you spell that for me?
Certainly. That's Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia. B as in, by God, that's Robert Loggia. E as in, everybody loves Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. T as in Tim, look over there, it's Robert Loggia. Space. L as in look, it's Robert Loggia.
Frosty, thank you for that. Sorry, I had to give that a fix there. Jesus juice I thought it sounded lewd as well. We were joking about that. Jesus juice, $2 chuck and Coke. I wonder if my brother would like that. I mean, we're going to try it again. I think it's actually going to be good.
I'm sure it's going to be exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So use a slightly lesser wine. Like I said, we're using a Tempranillo, which is that's the classic way to make it, correct?
Yes. And we have 3 different Tempranillos, main Tempranillos at the store. We've got a couple others, but one of them is the Petone Clemente, which we've had before. I don't know if we did a podcast or if we
played for the Pirates.
Yeah. We've talked about that.
Oh, okay.
And that one's only $5. So if under normal circumstances, if we were saying, hey, let's make some of these for a party, that's probably the one I would buy.
Right.
Because it's good by itself. We sell a lot of that, and it's $5. So it's okay to mix that. The other one that we didn't bring, actually, though, the company that makes those, the Lagranja, if in that info sheet I sent you, it says that the people at Lagranja actually recommended this winery to Trader Joe's. From a partnership with these guys, because I guess
cool.
They were just so that's Lagranja is a $4. I talked with Fitz a little bit today. He's like, I probably wouldn't do that one. So the one we decided on, because I thought, well, we're trying it by itself anyways, and then you guys maybe have a glass of it in the next day or two and enjoy that. But this is one that's been a favorite in the wine aisle, as Ethan used to say for years. The Javier San Pedro Tempranillo. It's been one that we've recommended for a long time. So it's been one of we may have even done
this is a 2020.
This is a 2020. Okay. So, but I thought, you know what? It's not like it's double digit cost. This is a $9 Tempranillo. So,
okay.
But one of our better ones,
doubling the other one.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But I thought, well, we'll bring that over. So,
Guardian down.
What's the story, Norm? Thirsty guy walks into a bar. You finish it.
Guardian down. Thank you for the 34 months. I appreciate
34 months.
Blue shirts are better than blue
balloons, blueberries,
blue balls.
Oh, balls. Okay.
Blondes do have more fun. I'm here to get my pig whistled on, but not whistling anyone else's pig. That's a good little rhyme. I like that one.
Okay.
I like that one. And also, what's always impressive is you can tell, like, just within tonight's show, within the last 20, 30 minutes.
It's very content relative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe part of it. No, actually, all of it with blondes, everything. He got it all.
Yep.
You just missed out on the red wine cocktail. How did you not get the word cocktail in there? That seems like you really missed out on an easy one. Not gonna have my cocktail whistle big. I don't know. Still good. Guardian down. Thank you for 34 months. Should we go grab the wine, some glasses, and get ready for that part of the show? Does that sound good?
Yeah,
all right.
we should.
Let's do it. So perfect timing. Guardian down gets here. Let's take a break. No, I don't like that. Now I feel bad, but if we get back quickly, then
we'll be back fast.
We'll be back quickly then. All right. Be right back.
The fade.
Fade. And we are
music fades
back. That
away.
was called Midnight Breeze from the Stream Beats Lo-Fi playlist.
Midnight Breeze.
All right, we're going to have some wine here. And in honor of that, of course, we probably should play this.
And if they want to drink Merlot, we're drinking Merlot.
No, if anybody orders Merlot, I'm leaving. I am not drinking any fucking Merlot.
Okay, relax, Miles. Jesus, no Merlot.
And we're not having any
We're not
Merlot.
drinking any Merlot.
We are not
we
drinking
talked
any.
about Merlot. We're not drinking.
So we've started watching
Nice.
show. It's called Frasier. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh,
We're in the second.
that's the two brothers, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen a lot of
we
it.
may
but-
or may not already be in the second season. And he opened a bottle of wine the other day. And I don't know why I thought it was odd, but he was using the shittiest corkscrew I've ever seen in my life. It's the old school one like our parents used to have. The one with like the little thing. And I was like, all of his sophistication,
wouldn't
this is the
seem-
corkscrew he's using?
I thought you were going to say the kind that like looks like the.
Those are-
those are
Those are supposed to be kind of like, aren't those kind of fancy though?
And sometimes, you need those
for older bottles.
For older
'cause you have to
bottles,
get in
I
there and
think.
kind of
Yeah.
get more of the
Yeah.
cork on that way.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually a couple sommeliers that I follow on Twitter and TikTok, and they have like, if you're opening like the old bottle, like here, and like they went through the whole process. I was like, this is fascinating. Like, cause it was a combination of that, but then it was like kind of a corkscrew in the middle, but then had the side on the thing on the side. It was a whole apparatus. I was like, Jesus. But yeah, that one, to see him do that, and all of a sudden I was like, what the hell?
Well, it was a long time ago. Maybe even back then.
Come
we were
on.
using those. Yeah, I don't know.
Fraser Crane using
would think
that
so.
to open up something. So this is a 2020. You said it was $9.99.
Not $8.99.
$8.99.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you started watching the third season of The Bear yet?
We have not even.
So
touched
about
that.
this isn't no spoilers. I think it's the 7th episode in.
You're fine. I already looked ahead to see if he and his lady got back together. So.
Okay, we've watched the whole thing.
Oh, have you watched all of
Yeah.
them? How many episodes are there?
10.
Okay. I saw she's barely in it other than some flashbacks.
She is barely in it.
Yeah. And he just can't get up the courage to get. I was like,
I'm
reading through each one of them, and I'm like,
yeah,
like watching through.
It would. Well, I won't tell you anything unless you want me to. But what I can share with you about.
Okay, yeah, go back to what you're doing in case someone else in chat cares.
Yeah,
because it is a newer show.
Episode, I think it's about episode 7, and it's funny. I had read something in Wine Spectator where they talked about how fancy of a restaurant it is, and they said, I know we're more focused on wine, but it's just a little bit funny that they're not really talking anything about the wine menu, and that would be part of a Michelin star. But there's a scene.
Yeah, isn't that part of all of that stuff?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
There's a scene where two of the guys are talking. The one guy is kind of like their sommelier, and they're in front of some of their wine supply. And all of a sudden I said to Pocket, that's a bottle of Rain Cloud from Trader Joe's, which is like a $6 bottle of wine. It's like that's this part, but you can't see it clearly, but I am 95% certain. And then the one next to it, I'm like, I think it's this one called 18 Square. That's a $25 bottle that still needs some age. We're sitting on several cases of that yet. But then to the left of it, I thought, that one looks familiar. And then in another scene, you can actually see it's called Outlot. And it's one that we carry, and it's a $20 bottle of wine. So part of their backup props, one for
Someone
sure.
at the last minute ran to Trader Joe's.
One for sure. 2, I'm 95% certain that there are 2 other wines from Trader Joe's. So
speaking of Frasier, is it true there is a Cheers reboot this summer? I have not heard anything about that. Is that?
I haven't heard. There's a Where Everybody Knows Your Name podcast with Woody Harrelson and
I've
Ted
definitely
Danson.
been enjoying that.
And this most recent one, it's just Ted Danson.
Oh, is it finally? Okay.
With Martin Short. So.
Ted Danson doesn't want a Cheers reboot. Will there be a Cheers? However, despite the hopes of fans of classic series, a Cheers follow-up series just isn't going to happen, according to Ted Danson. During a Los Angeles premiere of the 12th season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Danson spoke with Entertainment Tonight and reuniting with his Cheers classmates. So he said no. Heard it was an 8 episode. Yeah, at least not with them. Will the Cheers cast be the? Oh, that's the Frasier reboot. Does not look like there's any sort of at least reboot with that main cast. If that means they're making it with new characters, then that kind of wouldn't be Cheers anymore, so it wouldn't matter.
Right.
So, but yeah, if it's actually like some sort of them being in it, it sounds like that's a no.
They could all.
And that's as
come
of
Oh no, not Kirstie Alley.
That's from a while ago. When is this? Yeah, I think if Kirstie Alley is in it, we'd all be more than a little bit surprised.
Yeah, that'd be. Kirstie Alley's already signed on.
That was one of my
reboot.
favorite jokes. I always like that one.
What?
This is from February of 2024. The rumor I read included dances. So from February of 2024, from this year, he said no. ProneCon says hi. Chicken Lord, hello. Are you also at ProneCon? God dang, everybody's at ProneCon.
Yeah, next
half
year,
of my audience. I don't even know why I stream in the morning.
Send Andrew to ProneCon next year.
That'll be the new. I'll have a thing at the bottom. It's like fund my ProneCon trip. Would you like to fund a bartender coming to your ProneCon trip? Make you your margaritas. Make some other fun things. I'll open up beers for everybody. So it does seem that way. Ooh, I like this.
Yep. As I was saying before, I haven't had this in a few years. It was always a
14 and a half.
Especially around Thanksgiving, it was always a highly recommended favorite in the wine aisle.
13.8.
13.8? Okay.
ProneCon 3. I know if there's a ProneCon 3, we got to talk about it. Also, is July really the time you want to be in the Midwest? Guardian down, let's go.
Sorry, no.
Oh my
Thursday
God.
guy walks into a bar. You finish it.
So it's not PornCon.
I love that. I had to double check there 3 times. I was like, did he do it?
PornCon?
Guardian down, thank you so much for the gifted sub to ProneCon. ProneCon, welcome to the gifted sub club here. Appreciate it. Exclamation point hype.
Yeah, it's got a nice
Black currant.
very nice nose.
Maybe a little bit of raspberry, like black raspberry, like those kind of those darker fruits. That smells great. A little bit of alcohol in there, which actually is nice.
Yeah,
Maybe
which is why you
oak.
guessed 14 and a half.
Yeah, I thought maybe that might be a little bit
Yeah, a little
more.
bit. But you did just open
How long
it,
is
so
this?
it
How long do this be sitting in the oak? Is this like a year?
usually the Riojas, if they're like
12 months?
reservas, yeah, they spend a little time in there.
12 months in new and semi-new American and French oak.
Semi-new.
What does semi-new mean? Little licorice in there too, maybe? Maybe even a little chocolate? Caramel? Like a little caramel, maybe, actually. Yeah, a little, like, kind of like candied fruit. This might be too good for Coke.
Well, that's
I'm not going to lie.
in the future. I would not. My thought would be that I wouldn't do this one, but it was also, since we were drinking it as a standalone as well, I thought I would bring it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've had other vintages of this.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh,
Well, because
ooh.
when you taste a Tempranillo for serious, it's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of, for cheers, more like some like bright, like Bing cherry, almost like is in there too, like mixed in. Like there's a little that I was not expecting, so that was kind of nice. Oh, that's pretty good. Did you like you said you finished all of those seasons of Bear?
Yes, we watched all 10 episodes.
Did you like it? Was it as good as season 2, season 1?
Like,
Like,
definitely not as good as season 2.
okay.
It was kind of unfulfilling for me.
Were you also hoping for some resolution to him?
Definitely wanted at least something to be happening.
one way or the other.
Yeah,
like obviously I would have been
not a
frustrated
lot
with one or the
until
other.
I think the 9th episode is when she's in it like a little bit, and it's definitely
But
you're
it's
like,
so focused
okay,
on the food and the Michelin star and like all that's kind of that.
it's like
stuff.
I want to now. It's like, okay, when's season 4 coming out? Because it
Right.
just sort of, at least, I mean, well, I didn't like the last episode of season 2.
I mean, it was very good except for one part.
Everything
for me. Like,
else,
everything else was great.
about that season had been so good. There's a couple of episodes this season that are reminiscent of season 2, where they focus on one of the person's backstory.
Oh, cool! I like
they
those.
do that with a couple of them. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then there's a few, but overall, it's just more. Kind of frustrating.
I always wonder with a show like this, it's obviously popular. They can probably, for the most part, go on as long as they want. At what point after season 1 or 2, and maybe even earlier than that, do they have their like timeline of things where they're like they already know, like
The showrunners
we're doing
of-
6 seasons.
Yeah.
Like they already know in their head we're doing this many.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we can get to these things here. We can do,
Right.
Because for us, every season, to some extent, we're like, obviously it's popular, so it's not going to happen. But you're always like, well, this zooming another season, right? There has to be, like, you don't know. So it's almost like if you knew before, like with The Boys, before this new season came out, they're like, we're doing 5 seasons, that's it. Like, so there's this season and one more. So, like, okay, they're going to finish it, kind of wrap things up.
I'm surprised they're going to be able to do one more season. We did watch, I don't know if another one dropped this week, but we caught up where you and
I don't remember.
Ben were. We got,
Tech Night and his little sex basement.
Tech Night, yeah, that was.
God, that was where I was like, okay, this is like just a little, like, and like, to me, it doesn't bother. Like, it's not like I'm like, again, it's like, I'm like, oh, that's over the top, but it's like some of the over the top. I saw someone comment on it. It's almost like in place of some good storytelling. Yeah. Cause like it almost felt like more filler. Like there was still the good story beats of where things are going, or what's going on with Homelander and what's going on with, like I said, I forget what her name is, but anyway, with the one that, the like vice president or whatever she is.
Victoria.
Yeah. Like I said, with all that stuff is interesting how all those things are taking place. But like I said, then that whole little bit, like I was just like, I know where this is going. You're just stretching this out for like 20 minutes. Like you knew he was going to be discovered. You knew it was going to be this all, like it was, that one felt very like, this is so telegraphed where this is going to go that it's just like, okay, how gross or creepy are they going to do with this? I'm like, okay, like whatever.
I thought it was funny when Victoria Newman's having that conversation with that one guy and he's expressing like his views and then she like makes her own head explode. Yeah, that was just funny because you're like, oh my God. But then it's just her basically like.
That gets my wife every time. She's like, oh my God, she blew her head. I was like, it's just like, wait 2 seconds.
It's just her. Every time. It just blew her mind. And but I love that because you're like, oh my God, she did.
Oh, so then it was good. Then you got to see more of the stuff with Black Noir. They were like, all of a sudden he has his mask off. And he's just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the stuff that was funny. Because then it almost was more toward the acting stuff we were talking about. And I thought that was good. But
and we started watching.
It's funny. It's very funny. It's still good.
I don't know if you were there when I had said I'd started watching Resident Alien, but then I got like 10, 15 minutes in and I thought Pocket might like it. So she does, and we've watched a couple episodes of that.
It's good, isn't it?
So far, Alan Tudyk is great.
Oh, he's fantastic.
It's very funny. And but you said though, so there's 2 seasons on Netflix, but you said there's more than 2 seasons.
I think there are 3 seasons.
So I already have.
Can anyone else in chat? Anybody else watching Resident Alien? Like I said, I think there's 3
to be able
seasons.
to find that 3rd season.
I think the other ones are on FX/Hulu, so it might be over there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not positive.
Right. Okay.
If anyone else can confirm that, if you guys watch that show,
then we can find that.
We watched the whole 1st season, and I think a couple episodes into the 2nd season, and we just hadn't gotten back to it. But yeah, no, we really like it's good. It's one of those ones where you're like, I think Joe and I had talked about it, where it was like okay, well, I don't know how much more they can do. Okay, they found a new wrinkle. Like, they keep finding little wrinkles where you're like, oh, this can't go any further. Heard they're trying to get it uncanceled, but I don't think it's there yet. Oh, okay. So is it technically like because it got moved over to a different network? Let me see. Also, hi, Nix. How are you? Good to see you. Hopefully you didn't miss out on the No Merlot earlier. Resident Alien. Working watch season 3 of Resident Alien season 3 is on Peacock.
Oh. Which I have for the next year.
I did. Perfect. Okay. So there are 3 seasons. Is there a 4th season? Resident Alien has been renewed for season 4 by NBC Universal. The series will also move from Sci-Fi to USA Network, science fiction comedy drama. Okay. So this just happened a month ago. It did get renewed for a 4th season, and it's gonna move to USA Network. Yeah. Cool. It's great. Yeah. Like I like I said, I like all the actors in it. Like I said, everybody's like, it's got the sci-fi stuff and goofy alien things, and then all the things he's thinking in his head at the time. He's like, why would I want to do that with another human? Like, and the way he talks to the kids, like there's some of that stuff, and that's good. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Well, this is an excellent wine just on its own.
I agree.
I honestly had thought of before the show. Sometimes I start going through things in my head. Because that's how I am as a performer. I'm like, oh, what could be my lead-in line? I'll be like, oh, this is good, but it needs a little something. Oh, we should add a little sweetness. And I had this whole idea about like, okay, that's why we want to make this cocktail, but I actually wouldn't add this. So what we're going to do is take a very good bottle of wine especially for $10, I think a very good bottle of wine, and we're going to make a mixed drink out of it. We talked about it a little bit earlier. This is something we did randomly to some extent almost 20 years ago.
Well, it's quite that long ago.
Well, 18. Close enough.
Well,
it was in. You're going to give or take 2 years? With how old we are?
No older than 2007.
So 17?
So, no, 17 would be the
The
max.
story's only 17.
17, 16.
17. Is there a Merlot in the house? There is not. This is actually a...
Tempranillo is the Merlot of Spanish grapes. Wait, no, that's...
Yeah, no, don't say that. Okay, good. Yeah, so it is the Trader Joe's Javier San Pedro Randes Tempranillo, which is what we just had, which was very good. And now we're going to make this cocktail, which is the
Kalimotxo?
Kalimotxo.
Yes. Kalimotxo?
Apparently is a combination of two different names.
Yes.
Of some
two creators' nicknames.
Okay.
Calimero and Moxongo.
And for some reason, it was like peanut
Machango?
butter and chocolate. One person was holding a soda in their hand. The other person was holding specifically Coca-Cola.
You got your Coke in my wine. Well, you got your wine in my Coke.
Exactly. It was,
two great tastes that taste great together.
It was 100% that. So this happened, and it has become almost a national drink of several countries, apparently.
Yeah, it's drink. Yeah, in many countries.
In many countries. So,
and I guess in Fitz was saying, I think he says in England they take Lambrusco and mix it with Coke, which is just a little too sweet, I would say.
I feel that'd be too sweet.
Yeah, that's why we didn't do that. We're going to take a perfectly tasty bottle of Tempranillo and add some Coke to it. That's all right, though. Ah, yes. The peat. Ah, the peat.
So this is literally 50-50. Every recipe that I found, there's nothing special to it.
One part.
Yeah, there you go.
50, however you want to say it.
1 part of the wine, 1 part Coca-Cola, poured over ice. You can garnish with a lemon wedge. I didn't go out buy any lemon today. Apologies for not being perfect. Have you tried adding milk? Also a good option. Did you? Speaking of that, I don't know if anybody was following on Twitter.
I saw that there was a link to something there. Yes,
Twitter specifically, like said, there was did a little thing that was our blueberry dilk. I found my thrill on blueberry dilk. All right,
it's served on the rocks. It ain't no big surprise.
Oh, I should have probably grabbed some to mix this with.
Or your corkscrew, or just shaky it up.
And if they want to drink Merlot, we're drinking
There we go.
No,
Glad it worked again.
Merlot, I'm leaving. I am not drinking any fucking Merlot.
Okay, relax.
It's going to get messy. Why do I always forget things?
No Merlot.
Jesus, no Merlot.
We recommend that you don't stir with your corkscrew unless, absolutely necessary, which it was. Oh, you're making them individual. Thought we were splitting that, but okay. Oh, wait. Gotta have more than that.
Oh, that actually was more in there than I thought. I can even that out then. I thought I was going to have to make more.
What's the mixing for? Well, we feel they should be properly infused, properly commingled in the glass.
Close enough.
Our Tempranillo and our
No
Coke.
towel, no nothing. It's going to bother me. I'm going to grab a towel.
Get a towel. Might as well get a spoon. Wait, you probably don't need the
You don't
spoon
need a
anymore.
spoon anymore.
Okay. All right. Don't need a spoon. Yeah, we just want to make sure the only two things in this cocktail, well, besides the ice, are appropriately swirled together for maximum flavor enjoyment.
What did Uncle Ned do?
What did Uncle Ned do? I see what you're doing. I see what you did there.
All right. So that is why we were mixing. If you want to talk about peak enjoyment, you need some swords and umbrellas. That's true. Bendy straws, also good. Yep, that's very true. All right, so properly mixed, we've got some Tempranillo, we've got some Coca-Cola, and this should be like cherry Coke-esque with a little kick. What would would the ABV literally just be half, so it'd be 7 and change?
I would think so, yeah. Yeah.
Don't really smell anything? Maybe a little grape juice?
I guess this is a way to take red wine that's maybe not as good,
probably,
or to make your red wine dollar go farther.
That's right. Yeah, it's delicious. It's like
It's Coke and a good red wine.
Yeah.
It could even be Coke and a okay red wine.
Yeah, it really could.
Yeah,
Like I said,
it
yeah,
couldn't be
really
Coke
do
and a
not
bad
overpay
red
for
wine.
making this.
Yeah,
Like I
no.
said, yeah, buy something economical from Trader Joe's or somewhere else around, $5 or something like that, and you'll be totally fine. That's good.
It's called
I understand why that would be like just refreshing. I could see you out by the pool just like enjoying something.
It's called the Kohlraut in Austria.
Okay.
It's called the Vadaz, which is hunter in Czech Republic.
The Vadaz.
Oh, wait, no. It's called the Huba, which is mushroom in the Czech Republic. The Vadaz is Hungary. That's what it's called. The hunter. Okay.
Mighty Hunter?
The mighty hunter.
Yeah, that's good. I expected nothing
Well,
less.
we are into making cocktails.
I
so
expected
that's what
nothing
we've
less.
done here.
That seems to be our thing with the last several shows. So I almost had, so if I hadn't decided to go with our final beverage of the evening, which we'll talk about in a minute, I actually had another kind of mixed drink that involves soda and alcohol things. I was like, it's a bunch of things are all sitting there mixing. So the other thing I saw that it's supposed to be very delicious in similar fashion is making a margarita, the way we make a margarita, and then adding Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
So it's like basically like adding like lemon, lime, the tequila, but then you've got Dr. Pepper in there. Probably like it looked like a decent.
You mean with agave nectar and okay, the 2 and 2? No, wait.
No, I mean you can make it how you want.
Okay.
Like I said, the person I saw made it about how we made the 2-to-1
Would you make it with Blanco or Reposado?
Blanco.
Okay.
All right. They did Blanco. They basically did Blanco margarita, and then they left the top third, and then they floated that on the top and kind of like mixed
okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
it's just a float.
Yeah.
It's not a half and half type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more about getting some of those other, like just adding a little more complexity to that. It sounded good, and I was like, oh, we should try that. I was like, oh, I could go buy Dr. Pepper. I have everything else. Well, so I was like, that's a lot. Anyone ever pull food out for the day and then decide not to make that? That has definitely happened to me before. Like we used to do that sometimes the day before. Like we would, we're going to take down ground beef, or you take down some steaks. And then also the next day you're like,
Not really in the mood for that.
Yeah, it's just like that turn. So we stopped kind of doing that. Like now we kind of do things a little more fresh when it comes to our meat, because I was like, ugh, I don't feel like doing that now. Have you tried, and maybe I've asked this before, Kraken rum and Coke ends up tasting suspiciously like Dr. Pepper? I have not. I don't know if I've ever even had Kraken rum, to be honest with you. Obviously, I've done a Captain and Coke, Captain and Pepper, like a little. That's always a good option. Yes, and it inevitably spoils because the notion of making it seems so unappealing. That would never happen with steaks, though. I mean, it's something like not steaks. It's usually we used to be more with ground, but like we would take down ground, be like, "Oh, I'll make burgers tomorrow" or whatever, or something like that for us, and then all of a sudden be like, "Can we make it tomorrow?
Let's get a pizza. Let's get a pizza.
Can we make one more? Yeah, can we make one more day?" We've been getting lower on food this last couple days, but it's like since we're going on a trip, we didn't want to have a bunch of food in the house. So then it was one of those ones where when we went to Costco a few weeks ago, I was like, all right, I think this should get us through, or then we don't have to have a bunch of food.
Yeah,
now.
you play the let's use everything in the fridge game.
Yeah. So we've been doing that. And then usually always the night before, we usually wind up doing either Mexican food or McDonald's. We do we eat out the last night anyway. So we just kind of had to make it through one more day.
I have to figure out, we're going to go out Saturday for my birthday dinner. We didn't do anything Monday.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know where to go.
Wild garlic?
We did that kind of recently. Did that for Ben. I don't know if I need to do that again. Kind of been in the mood for Chinese food.
There's a new restaurant by North.
Okay.
I've not eaten there yet, but it used to be that humble pie or something like that. Do you know where that was?
Oh, yeah.
That is now something else, and it is actually open.
Oh, the True Food?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've been there.
Oh, okay. How was that?
It was good. It had where we sat when we went. The
kind of
seats
small
are
inside,
kind of far.
isn't it?
Yeah. But what I had was really good. And I remember when Pocket and I went there, the server, he looked kind of like Joseph.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's funny.
We were like, he kind of looks like Joseph. It wasn't him, just so you know.
I was like, wow, he has another job?
He's working at North.
He has three jobs. Kraken rum doesn't fuck around. It's good stuff. I would definitely try it. Like I said, we still need to do some more rum podcast stuff, because we used to, we've had people mention some things before, and I was really happy with the one that we had.
Well, yeah, yes, the last one we have, the Probitas.
Yeah, I still have
that
a
was
little
good.
bit of that left.
Not the one I returned.
No, the one from Panama.
Yeah,
that unfortunately, unlike the canal, did not go over well.
High hopes for that too, since it was aged in like wine barrels.
There was something about that was supposed to be a little
no, we
extra.
were very excited about that, but no.
I pulled out some pasta to make, and I am having that Sunday and went, this makes no sense to make today. I'm doing this on another day. I'm out. Yeah, that's just good.
So it says lemon. Would you do lemon, or would you almost put lime in there too?
You could do either.
Yeah.
Either. I think
Something
it's fine.
citrusy.
Yeah, something citrusy. Just kind of brighten it up.
Boost it up a little
more.
bit. Yep. Yep.
I would even, not much, but I would almost even put a little more wine in there. Like I wouldn't mind a little, like it's perfectly balanced. But I could see anybody like making the adjustment one way or the other. Like, oh, I want to put a little more Coke in there because I want a little more of that. Or for me, I wouldn't mind more of that almost cherry-like component to come through, just a touch more. But like I said, again, 50-50s.
Probably depends maybe on how good the wine is. Probably since this wine is good.
You're not wrong.
It is interesting how the Coke doesn't
It's not
necessarily
near
come
as sweet
through
anymore.
as Coke.
Yeah, it's not near as sweet anymore.
Yeah, it sweetens things up, but it's not. You wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be able to say. Well, maybe I could say that's Coke, but it's just like, oh, what'd you do to the wine?
Yeah, you've added cola to it.
Yeah,
You've added some sort of, like, not specifically Coke. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, again, like when you do even like a spiced rum or something like that, you're still like, oh, that's Coke, and like
Yeah.
you still get those flavors. Whereas this, it really it really blends in kind of deceptively interesting for sure.
we should take two simple things and mix them together into a cocktail. Sprite and
Corona and Emergency. We talked about that. We'll do it.
Oh,
at
have
some
we
point.
done? Okay.
Gross. I've said we'll do that for like a charity thing at some point. That's one of my charity ideas.
Is that something, or is that just a
no?
new
I
thing?
would just do that because that sounds horrible.
Okay.
Could let people spin the wheel for a certain flavor of emergency, and then we have to do it.
Oh.
I've seen a lot of people lately doing like that guy, the Educated Barfly, that I think I've sent you videos of before.
Oh yeah.
I think I've sent you some, but anyway,
Yeah.
he did like a couple recently where he was doing cocktails. It must be because of summer, like they're kind of doing more summer drinks, and it was stuff where like you mix it in, like basically you drink 3 ounces of a Miller High Life, and then in the Miller High Life you add orange grapefruit juice and like Merlot or what's the crap? What's the horrible thing that they have in the Midwest? What is it? Everyone knows what that is. It's like it's not
Humidity.
Malort.
Oh,
You've heard of
that
Malort?
is-
No?
Malort.
Yeah, you've never heard of Malort?
Like
It's
Milady
literally
and
like it's like
Malort
what
and
you give
Milady?
to your enemies. It's like something you give to your enemies.
I
It's
don't
like
know
supposed
what
to be
that is.
horrible, but it's like a Midwest thing for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah, like you add that and grapefruit juice into a Miller High Life and like you
Oh.
like slowly mix it up in the bottle and then just drink. He's like, oh, that's refreshing. Like that.
Oh wow.
There was that. He did like 2 different cocktails where I was like, what is this Miller High Life ad you've got going on all of a sudden? I was like, and who buys Miller High Life?
Did I
in
talk
the bottles,
to
no
you
less.
about the grapefruit radler that we have? I was gonna bring one of those over. I bought
I want to say yes.
okay
wanna
because
say
it was
who?
so maybe we have talked about it because yeah, radler is like half beer and half
Yeah, it's like
lemonade or grapefruit juice.
It's like a shandy kind of thing.
Yeah, and we had one at the store. It was our Hefeweizen, and that's I guess, and it had grapefruit juice in it, and it smelled really good when we opened it.
Oh yeah, because you're like,
Yeah,
oh, grapefruit.
yeah.
You
But
did
then,
tell me about it.
just the taste, the flavors together, just not my thing.
Yeah,
so.
you said that just didn't work because
For me,
Yeah.
just not. Yeah,
Did other people enjoy it?
it's been selling, so I think so.
The real question though, like sometimes that was always like the thing, like, oh, people are buying it. It's
We
like, well,
buy
it's
it.
because we've just had it here. Like,
sell it.
does anyone come back for it?
Yes,
That's always
people
okay.
must be coming back for it.
Okay.
and people liked it. We actually poured it at the tasting table a few weeks ago, and people were like, "Ooh, that's good." Not
At
this
the tasting
tasting
ta-
table.
oh, okay.
No.
Still no, I know.
At the Trader Joe's table.
Oh.
Not here. Not here.
I always forget. Do you ID for stuff, or how does that work at the tasting?
If
thing?
we feel it's
you
necessary.
look obviously like
Yeah.
you try and just like, please don't come up here. Like
Yeah.
you just kind of hope for. Like, please don't ask for anything.
No, I mean if they do, then you gotta. But then it's like that's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily like pouring wine anymore, because then I've got to follow. Where they either have to drink it there. For some reason, people like to take it and then they start walking around the store, and we can't have them walk around the store because if for some reason they don't finish it, and they set it down, and then
Well, I didn't thought about
Daddy,
that.
I found this wine.
Oh,
I mean, you got
my God.
so
I
now
hadn't
you got to
thought of-
watch.
So is it
it's-
you have to stand right there?
Well, or I have to at least see them drink it and throw it out. I don't necessarily, but sometimes I'm like, oh, if I could just have you, it's like, why wouldn't you just drink it here?
Well, because you don't pour that much.
It's not.
How much do you pour? Like even a half ounce?
It's just
an
this
ounce?
little.
Like a
It's not even an ounce.
Is it that tiny little cup?
That's that little cup. Yeah.
If you don't drink that in one taste,
no,
like,
well, it's like some people
you should
a little sip
immediately,
or they take and they thank you, and they start walking around, and it's like, can you just drink that here? But anyways, they probably are trying
you
to.
should have like a cattle called roped off area that's like drinks, like alcohol, like or something
Almost,
like that. If you're drinking, it's right here, like or something. I don't know. How like maybe you could tape something off on the floor, like so it's not actually like a roped area, but it's like if you're standing.
I give them a shot collar when I pour them. You want a sample? Okay, put this on.
Make sure you don't go more than 5 feet that way. If you've made it to the bread, you're about to get shocked. I'm sorry, it's going to happen.
Judgment call.
God, yeah, that's so good. Thumb spasm. Didn't he have that too? Like, well, how are you going to like this?
Yeah, he does it to himself. Yeah. Oh, Cliff. So you guys have actually started watching Frasier again?
Yeah, Rachel put it on the other day. I was like, what do you do? I can't remember what it was because we've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which were like a couple seasons into that.
I got to start watching that.
That show is great. We were watching a couple, some of that. We had watched Modern Family for the whatever, and like for some reason that just like fell off again. We've watched it multiple times, so it's not like we stopped watching it.
That's still so good though.
Yeah, that show's amazing. The only thing I will say though, sometimes watching that show, and not to get off on too much of a tangent, like in general, and I don't know if this is one of those on purpose things, like almost like how we talked about with Black Noir. I don't know if this is me picking up on something that's like not really there, but in general, it's like the most put together, and not that this is a bad thing. In general, the most put together people on there are Cam and Mitchell. Like the women, like because Sofia Vergara and what's her name that plays Phil's wife, like they're kind of horrible people. Like they're kind of not great. Like she's like super bossy, like really mean, doesn't understand what she's doing to the kids. Or like, and it always turns out okay. And he's like, it's all right, honey, I'll make it, and it's always like, you're kind of a bitch. Like, like it's one of those things where you're just watching it. And it's the same thing with like her too. Like, so with, she's like, so like, it's just so like, there's like a self-centered, like, I know this is like perfect. And it's always like, it's funny how then the two characters that they made that are the most like grounded in some way are, like I said, is that couple. And I don't know if that's was done on purpose or whatever, but yeah, like we'll be watching episodes every once in a while, and all of a sudden my wife will just look at me and like, God, she's just being really nasty right now. It's just like, I know, I don't understand. Like, how do you not like, yeah, I don't know.
Pocket can't stand Cam though. Some of his stuff when he's like
when
really
he goes
needy and manipulative.
Yeah.
No,
I get
it. And then it becomes for her like George Costanza became in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh my God, I almost can't watch him right now.
Yeah. So, I definitely can see that. He's one of my favorite though for some of his one-liner, but yeah,
some of his things
he definitely goes over the top with some
Yeah.
of his like the drama stuff. That
But
he
he's
yeah,
got
for
some good
sure.
stuff.
But yeah, like I said, with her sometimes, and it's the same thing too. Like even Ed O'Neill sometimes has his stuff where you're just like, all right, you don't get that sounds horrible coming out of your mouth right now, like like for someone. Yeah. And then he usually kind of figures it out, which like I like the evolution of his character, especially over all those seasons where he just becomes, whatever. I'm not perfect. I didn't understand this, that, and the other. He's like, but I love you. And like it's like all that kind of. It's like that's what it's all about. Yeah. So anyway. But yeah, I was like, man, you're just real mean. Like at some point, just like, why are you doing this? Like, you're doing it. Like you can tell that you're just like doing it because you can to this person. It's just like, I don't know. Anyway, you're cruel. Speaking of cruelty, I've held off on having this whiskey.
Okay.
For several years now. It's literally been in my house
several
unopened.
Years.
Yeah.
Wow. And we're gonna have it tonight.
I was given this as a gift.
July 11th, 2024.
Yep. I was given this as a gift. Gosh, it was a Christmas/birthday gift because this whiskey is not inexpensive. It is WhistlePig. It is one of, like I said, usually something I like, usually one of my kind of special treats. I've kind of grown out of it a little bit, some of these, just because the proof is lower. Most of the WhistlePig stuff is in the 80 to 90 range. I've kind of gone up to I like the 100 proof or above.
You do like a higher proof.
But yeah, this was one that I always was very interested in trying. And like I said, HJ, who's usually there here in chat, they were kind enough to get me a bottle of this. Probably, it might be almost 2.5 years ago now I've had this unopened.
Okay. Oh,
just
wow.
sitting here.
All right.
It might even be longer.
Post-pandemic, maybe.
Might even been
so 2021.
Might have been, yeah. Might have been into the pandemic. Might have been what we were going to use to try and stave off the pandemic. I'm not sure. It could have been all of those things. But it also does tie into that we were having some wine, which is also a good thing because this has been aged in 3 different types of casks. We've got port casks, 7%. We've got 63% in Madeira casks.
Oh,
and we've got 30% in what's the other one? In Sauterne.
French sweet wine.
Thank you. Yes. Bordeaux region, correct?
Sweeter
I believe.
wine. Yeah.
Some in Bordeaux region. Some usually they use Sauvignon Blanc grapes. I think I was reading earlier, but they can use.
They're usually more dessert wine.
What's the one I can't pronounce? Semillon.
Oh. Semillon?
There you go. That is also one of the ones that they use. Thank you.
Semillon.
So it gets 12 years aged. So this is 12 years aged in American oak. Then that gets divided into these other casks and then put back together to form this blend.
Yikes.
I'm very excited to try it. It's only 86 proof. Like I said, so again, it is not, like I said, a little lower on the proof scale. So I didn't feel that it needed to be open. So I literally have not opened this bottle yet.
I appreciate that you're only charging me $20 for the pour.
Exactly. That's what I needed to charge you last week for that Frey Ranch. If we ever see that one again. I actually signed up for Frey Ranch is doing some sort of like giveaway of Traeger. And I was like, let's see if I can win a Traeger grill from Frey Ranch. That would be kind of cool. I don't know if you get any whiskey with it or not, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to clean up these glasses, come back, and we're going to hopefully enjoy something extra delicious to finish out the evening. But if it's not, we'll let you know that too. I'll be honest about it. Be right back. Lo-fi is hitting pretty good right now, I would say. I've been liking that. It's good. It's like been kicked up just a little bit, the ones I've randomly picked. Last couple of weeks, I know I kind of mentioned
Sleepy-fi.
It was a little bit more sleepy-fi. There's just a little bit more there. It's not quite hi-fi. It's not quite lo-fi. Planty, how's it going? You popped in right as we went to break. It is so good to see you. Wonderful to see you. We're coming into the last beverage of the evening. This is the Old World Rye aged. So this is 12 years in American oak. Then after that, it gets finishing in, again, Madeira casks.
And then it's had 2 years here at your house.
It's had 2.5 years.
Does absolutely nothing to the flavor profile.
Technically does nothing to the profile, but it has been sitting here.
Just builds up the anticipation.
So 63% of this is from what was finished in Madeira casks. 30% is in the Sauternes. Is that correct?
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Casks, which is another sweet wine.
Usually, yep.
Bordeaux,
more of a desserty type wine. Yep.
And then 7% aged in port casks.
Okay.
And Madeira is actually, those are like some islands, I think, off the coast of Africa. Because it's all of these are kind of in the port, sweeter wine.
They're in that, fortified wine
vein,
kind of
but
thing.
A little bit, like I said, a little different. Courtney, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh, fancy.
Back in the day, we carried a Sauterne at the store. I never bought one.
Wow.
I always wanted to. I should have.
If you'd have had one, we could have talked about it this day. Like,
I know.
Did you not see into the
Remember
future
that we
far enough?
had it? Remember we had Sauterne?
Man, I tell you.
Yeah, I know.
This is actually a pretty fancy bottle. Like I said, this was given to me as a gift. I've had it sitting around for a while, and finally, last couple of weeks, I was like, I just need to start opening and enjoying some of these things. And keeping them high enough on a shelf that my wife can't be like, oh, that one's really good.
Or hidden in the closet.
Yeah, it is. And it's also mine. So a little bit of that.
You get the new bottle lock that you're going to try.
I do. Yeah. I do need that. Actually, fancy. It's glass, right? It's not in a plastic jug.
That's the Von Krugers.
The only thing that has been nice lately is, so we were out at Costco and we bought, mostly for mixing because I needed another, bourbon for mixing. And I bought the Knob Creek. Like, you need a pallet to you may have even seen it sitting out there. Did you see it sitting out there? It's huge.
I think I did actually.
It's like 1.75 mil and it's in still the Knob Creek bottle. So it's this giant thing.
I thought maybe you were going to say you bought some of the Heaven Hill, or do you still have that? The 7 year? That was good.
That's good for $40. That is very good buy if you're at a Costco. Stuff. $40 for that Heaven Hill bottled in bonds 7 year. Yes, big recommend on that one. Especially at Costco specifically because it's like $40. But I had bought that and I was like, I'll use this for mixing because I hadn't had one and we were kind of been going through some other things and didn't want to waste anything else. But you still want to have some quality. And Knob Creek's good, the 9 year. But no, actually, I discovered that because we had made. I think that's actually what finished up, speaking of since Planty was here, that finished up some of the whiskey amaretto sours that I was making. It finished up the Di Serrano.
Very good.
But after that, my wife poured a little bit. She's like, oh, this Knob Creek's, and she's been having that. I'm like, yes.
Distracted.
Guess what's living a little bit longer? The Willet that I put out.
We have more of that. I don't have the high one that I sold that I got for you, but still in the 54s, 55s, I think.
One that we opened, I think, is 113. I think is what it was.
It was one of the higher ones.
But anyway, so this is the Whistle. Like I said, this bottle is not inexpensive. I think it's around $130-ish. I'm going to tell you the price right now.
Oh, wow.
So you can, I'll taste it and still not
sell you that right now.
Yeah, exactly. You can still be frustrated if you're like, I hate to tell you this, but it's gross. It's fine if you don't like it or if I don't like it, like whatever. It's honest opinion here because then we save other people money.
save other people money, or it gets turned into a mixed beverage. But I have a feeling you're gonna like.
It's 100% rye whiskey, which was 100% up my alley. I love that spice. They're going for the sweeter note thing with all the port wine stuff. So we will
100% up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
That's a T-shirt right there.
That is actually my my
things are gonna start happening to me.
Yeah,
now.
right. Up my alley. That's the name of a series of videos that I did.
Up my back alley.
Up my wow.
Oh, whoa,
okay.
whoa,
that
hey,
got
hey,
that
whoa.
got a little bit of
Okay,
an adjustment there. All right, there you go.
Thank you. That's right. You can see what Andrew poured me.
It's like 1/100 of a drop in there. I could get out a medicine dropper.
It coated the glass.
That would actually be kind of funny if I got a medicine dropper.
I get the ether. Just get the little.
You get what is it?
The gossamer.
You get the angel share.
The gossamer waft. Yeah, I get the angel share. And I
dessert time for me.
Angel.
PB&J. Oh my god, nice Guardian down. I love that. I need to get some of the. I need to look for some more peanut butter and jelly, like of those sours. Those sound very, very delicious. I need to look for those.
So I get Imbibe magazine.
No way.
Yeah, I know. And
you don't read them for 6 months, and then you read them.
Every issue they feature a different city, and the one I think from a couple months ago they featured Tucson. And whatever bartender they spoke with talked about a place called Streetcar. Or Sidecar. Sidecar.
Mm-hmm.
They also talked about Batch.
Oh, nice.
Crooked Tooth, Exo Coffee. I forgot what the other place was, but
Tap and Bottle.
No, didn't mention Tap and
Well,
Bottle.
they've made mistakes.
Yeah, but they did talk about Batch.
That's cool.
Get whiskey and a donut.
I love Batch.
Are their donuts any good?
Oh, their donuts are delicious.
Okay,
they also do sometimes they'll do donut fillings, and then they'll have a little shot that's poured into it. So there's like an Irish whiskey thing, and then you kind of eat that with I think it's a Boston cream. Maybe had like the Irish whiskey shot in there or something.
So I'm not going to actually drink any of this. You're just going to see me smell it.
Yeah.
And then he gets it back.
It's right. He spits it in my mouth after he gets enough of a taste. I get to finish it.
Oh. Finished in my mouth.
Yeah. This is finished in Madeira cask, Sauternes, port cask, and Keith's mouth.
It's gross.
Jesus Christ, why?
Why does it have all those bubbles in it?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Backwash.
It's not, for 12 years aging, I thought it might be a little darker, kind of honey colored.
Yeah.
Like I said, nothing like too there. I always wonder how much of the color is affected as well by, which I would think some, depending on how much they proof it down. Like I said, this is again 86 proof. That's usually about where WhistlePig things are, 86 to 90 proof. Got some PB&J moonshine in the freezer. Oh, you have PB&J moonshine in the freezer too? Jeez. All right.
This is, you said only 40. Wait, no, you said 86 proof.
Sorry, yeah. So 80. So what?
80.
Wait.
What? 43. Wait, what was it? 90.
46 proof. 86
46
ABV. What it is?
No, the other way around. 86 proof.
Now I got to double check.
43 ABV.
Yes.
43
ABV. Yes, thank you. 43 ABV,
Yep.
86 proof.
Yep. Because it's freshly opened. Still putting off some kick there.
Really?
Yeah, to me it is.
There's a little bit at the back end. There's definitely some nice. I almost get like some baking spice, like some cinnamon. Definitely sweet coming through. Maybe a little black pepper too.
Black pepper.
Now coming to the stage.
Black pepper.
There's a little, I guess if you take a really big, I get, there's a little bit of alcohol kind of vapor coming through.
A little sweetness though to it.
Sweetness though is nice. Like I said,
Yep.
Again, I get like some baking spices, maybe a little bit of cinnamon, and then like some sweet. I was hoping for maybe a little bit more fruit coming through with all the port casks and all those things, but
Yeah, there is a
Maybe
lighter
some of
note
that'll
there,
be-
but yeah, maybe that'll be revealed in the taste.
yeah, I like the aroma. It's overall not super complex.
Yeah, I agree. there's the fruit.
Yeah. Oh, that's
good.
That's actually, yeah, that's. Yeah, the aroma was kind of deceptive. I'm definitely getting way more in the taste just even on the first sip.
That's a good. I like it that way better. When the aroma under delivers and the taste over delivers.
I'd rather have that
as opposed to, oh my God, that aroma is amazing. Oh, we've been there before.
I'd rather have the aroma under deliver. I think I would agree. You eventually go back and complain about it, but it's like overall, yes, I would rather have my taste buds being delighted than.
I guess unless you're trying not to drink, and then you'd just be like, I just sniff this all day long. I wake up in the morning. I wake up in the morning. I have a sniff of my glass of whiskey. I don't drink it.
Whiskey sniff.
I just smell it.
That could be a website. They don't actually drink any whiskey. It's just all based on aroma.
Whiskey sniffer.
Whiskey sniffer.
But you have to have somebody who will drink it to let you know the better ones. Oh, don't worry. You're not missing anything by not drinking that.
You got the best part.
The best part. The best part of waking up is the whiskey in your cup. It's just sniffing the whiskey in your cup.
That's whiskey. That could be a shirt. Whiskey sniffer.
Whiskey sniffer.
Whiskey-sniffer.com. Oh my God. This is so silly.
But it's true though. I do. Of course, you'd like it to be both.
Oh, 100%.
Where you're like, oh my God, that aroma is amazing.
Because we definitely have talked about that with a lot of things where we're like, or what the worst is when it's like, they're completely different.
Yeah.
Like this, I think, is just adding on to which I didn't get a lot, but like that it's adding on to that. Yeah. What's always weird is when you're like, oh, I smelled this, but I'm tasting all of it. Like it almost like none of it crosses over. Yeah. That's the worst, I think.
Yeah. Just confusing.
My brain hurts.
But yeah, when you get that, and you're like, okay, it's good. There's not a lot, but what's there is good. And then you taste it and you're like, ah.
Yeah, that rye spice definitely comes through. That kind of hits first, and then after that's when you kind of get the wave of the sweet. Like I said, you get some of the fruit, like you talked about. I think there's some of the baking spice in there. It's very smooth. Like I said, for me, my only thing immediately is like, oh, I wonder what this is like at 100 proof or more. Like like a little bit more proof because it's very drinkable. It's very easy drinking in that regard. But there is some complexity there, so that's kind of where
the body's nice though tui
Surprisingly, from that proof, I would agree. Yeah. There actually is like a little viscosity to it, like kind of a little bit of olive oil, a little, like I said, that kind of, which that it actually is surprising. That's something I usually almost kind of don't even think about when it's at that level.
So do you have to hide that one too?
I mean, she hasn't had any yet, so I might be okay.
Okay.
And then there actually is like this had been. What's funny too is like the bookers that we had. When did we do the bookers on a podcast? That like
a couple months ago, maybe.
Yeah,
not that long ago.
I'd have to look. It was maybe a little farther. Anyway, whenever we did that, we had that, and then I just put it back in the case, and then I put it back up on the upper shelf of that thing. Not even really thinking. Like I honestly didn't. I think I may have had her. Like I was like, oh, you should try this or whatever. And I think she liked it, but I just put it back up there. Amazing enough, not touched.
Oh.
So, like I said, that's where this one was up there. And she would never, like, again, we joke about it, but like I said, if something's not open, then she's always kind of like, oh, can I open this one or whatever, And like I said, for the most part, she kind of has anything. The only thing that's funny that I did have to do is so in the lower section of this cabinet, I know, first world problems, like, oh my God, I have all this whiskey that people have to not have. In the lower cabinet is usually where I keep stuff that's not been opened or whatever else. And usually down in there, we have the E.H. Taylor, which is one of my wife's favorites, the small batch. So I had like maybe one or two of those. And I think she had opened one and I was like, okay. And she really likes that one. So usually then that, like as soon as one of those is opened, it turns into like a little bit each day. So then over, a certain amount of time, like I said, that one winds up going. And then all of a sudden at some point I was like, wait, that bottle was, did you open another? She's like, yeah, that one's so good. She's like, but there was another one back there. So I say, okay. So the one behind it is actually not the small batch. The one behind it is a barrel proof that I cannot find. I said, so do not go for that one.
Don't include that.
Don't. And she's like, oh, I thought that was, I said, yeah, I said, I totally understand. Cause they literally, their E.H. Taylor is so stupid. Like it literally looks the exact same. It's the same cylinder. Most of them, it's the same writing other than like, you have to just kind of look, but like it's the same color, like unless it's the rye, like I said, they're almost all the same. I was like, yeah. So she literally, it was so cute. She's like, oh my, I said, it's not, I said, it's fine. Like I said, but it was one of those things. I said, that is one that's more expensive.
Right.
So when you open it, I said, if you do accidentally open it up, just let me know so I can have some. But she literally put a sticky note on it so that she would,
don't touch.
she did. She literally, I was like, so cute. I was like, oh, I'm like, you didn't, she's like, no.
She's a keeper.
She's like, I didn't want to do, yeah, she is. Again, first world problem to have. Like I said, oh my God, my wife likes whiskey. It's so frustrating.
Right.
Obviously, it'd be cheaper if she didn't, but at the same time,
right.
it's also like, then my habit is not a problem.
Can't like the Von Krugers. Yeah, right.
Well, I got the other day I wound up, because I was like, yeah, I should get out. So I brought out another bottle of the Trader Joe's one, which is so good. Like I said, that whenever. So I was like, I've got some. I'm like, why am I like, I've got a couple of these. Not that I won't as soon as those come around.
There'll hopefully be a new
I'll take
one
another
coming
case
around.
whenever that comes out. Just grab a case. I'll take it. Like, tell me. And we'll have to try that one again. That was so funny. What was the one we liked the best? Was it the 22?
The first one, I thought.
Oh, was it the first one?
I thought it was the 21. That's the one I liked the best. I thought, for me, I liked, and I think we did this so we could probably go back and watch
we
that.
did. I'd have to go back. You could go in the archives.
I think it was 1, 2, and
Shameless
3
plug.
I liked in that order. The first one, the second, because the most recent one, which is one I still have, I thought I liked least.
You know what? I think one was, because I remember when that was like, you had very little of that. Like we had that. And I was like, oh man, I wish we had more of that one.
It's gone now.
I think it was, maybe it was 1, 3, 2. I liked.
We may have.
Anyway, we had some of both. Like I said, so yeah, I got out another one of those.
You probably have more of 3 left, so that's good.
I do also.
Because I think that's the one I bought. Yeah, you may have given
that
some
one.
to
I definitely
Jay,
got. I always give one away. Like I said, that one, but I'm pretty sure I kept 4 or 5 of those. Just because, for $30, the barrel proof, and it is like, again, no, actually, I'm not going to tell you. You shouldn't. No, don't buy that. It's terrible.
Stop.
The Trader Joe's barrel. No one's here in Southern Arizona. We're fine. We're safe. Do we know how far across the country that? Like, do you guys talk? Do you guys communicate through like walkie-talkie? Like, did you get some of the?
Do you have it?
in California,
would think everybody gets the same allotment, but I don't know for sure. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that was
We weren't
November
the only one
year.
that did Fitz buy some of that too, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's been a popular one.
Doesn't
every year.
even make it to the shelf.
Yeah, well, it did this year, but and there was one year, pretty much, all the selling we were doing on it didn't. Not much of it got to the shelves, but this year
I even
it
went
did.
to Campbell. Like you were kind of, you're like,
that was a couple years ago.
Like,
There's
a couple bottles held over here. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
You're like, you're Keith's brother, aren't you?
Yeah.
I guess I am. So funny, because I remember being like the checkout where I was getting, I think it was 2 bottles. Like they were checking that out, and they're like, I hear this stuff's pretty good. I was like, it is. Like, there's none of it left. It's gone.
I got the last bottle.
Good luck.
Chad saved them for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that guy.
Now you can have you got Big Dave save it for you now. So at least he's there right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that'd be funny. Does it say that on his name tag?
Wouldn't be surprised.
It says BD.
Big Dave. Yeah, that's good.
That's just, that's like one of those, hey, I've never had a rye whiskey before. What would be one I would start with? Obviously, borrow some and taste some at a friend's. Don't buy this.
Don't
bottle.
buy that to start. Yeah.
But like I said, but that'd be one of those things like, okay, this is good because it's not quite as spicy and over the top, but you kind of get some of those extra notes and things. So I appreciate the drink descriptions. My neighbor started a neighborhood wine night a few years ago, and we tried to be serious about it at first, but now everyone just wasted. Nice.
Wasted.
Oh, that's funny. Good evening, Crocodile. Good to see you. I guess I missed everything. We're on the last beverage right now as we speak, but you're more than welcome to ask any questions about all the things we had. Of course, as always, it is good to see you. We describe one as okie dokie smoky. You know what? Like, I think that's the thing that we've always talked about. Like I said, been doing this podcast for years, and even like how we got our start with coffee and everything else. It was always, it's not about what are the correct terms. It's what are, how good can you be at analyzing just your own palate and figuring out, like, it's not wrong to say, wow, this reminds me of what, like, again, like I said, the person the owner that we used to work with that got us started a lot is, it was like, well, this reminds me of hay in the barn, and it's like, well, I don't have that reference, so I'm not going to taste that necessarily, but maybe I'll try something else. Be like, oh, well, like you just said, oh, this is kind of smoky. It's kind of this. Oh, this reminds me of, whatever, like fresh cut grass and whatever else, like whatever you
on
like.
the good side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because one of the first decaf coffees that Denny had me drink, I remember saying, I said, I feel like I'm drinking water out of a garden hose.
Oh yeah.
Because it had that sort of
was metallic and vinyl, okay.
that kind of taste to it. And I think that's kind of where you start. And you just...
Yeah, you start there. You try.
What's it remind me of, and why? And then sometimes, if you really do a deep dive and you're like scientific, you may find out that, oh my gosh, this particular, type of wine grape or coffee bean actually has the same properties as certain things that make you think of these specific flavor descriptors. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where we, like I said, for those of you that are new here, like I said, that's where we got our start, was in, at least with this kind of tasting process and really analyzing what we're tasting, what we're smelling. Like I said, started with coffee. Like I said, we were both in the coffee business for a decade plus.
You for
2 decades.
Didn't realize that. Yeah, that
2
was
decade plus. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
When a portion of your career was like, I was almost at 25 years at one place.
I know.
But like I said, I mean, you were there, like I said, for
almost 11.
Over a decade. Yeah, over a decade. What does it sound better, 11 years or over a decade? Over a decade could be any amount. Then
more
after
than
that,
a
which
decade
sounds more
of experience.
exciting.
Actually, more than a decade, though. People could think, oh, he was there 10 years in one day.
They could.
They could think that. Because that's probably, because now you're not lying saying that, but you're, also not saying, hey, he was over almost 11 years.
But yeah, like it's about that experience, like I said, and what being able to describe those things, because whenever you taste something and the first thing you're just like, oh, I don't like that. It's just always like, it's just going that extra level. Like, okay, why don't you like that?
Why don't you? Right.
Because understanding why you do or don't like something is then why you can figure out what you want to have in the future and what you can avoid. If you were like, oh, I don't like, hops. I don't like, what, like I said, if that's something you don't like in beer, oh, I don't like hops because I don't like that they're bitter and this and that. Okay, well, maybe you try a hazy version of it, or you try, oh, I still don't like that because there's still, it's like, okay. So
that burns my tongue, or
that
exactly. That tastes like wet cardboard, or whatever it is that, because
there's so many variations within every flavor profile, whether it's whiskey or coffee or beer or soda or anything else. Like we've always talked about, I think what was Eric used to say, like, always try it twice.
Try it twice. Well, that's why with that beer tonight, I probably have to have another one.
2 sips.
Probably have to have another one, just in case, because
a whole other beer of that though. I don't think you need.
No. Okay.
You'd probably be okay.
All right. Okay. Good.
You'd probably be all right. But yeah, like I said, it's figuring that out, because then that's just going to make you an even more informed and better decision maker when you try new things, because you're going to eventually try more things that you like. You're like, if you read descriptions that are like, okay, those are things that I've liked in the past, that kind of thing. Going to think about it like that next time. I mean, like again, you still have fun with it.
Sure.
And I think that's what we've always been about. Like I said, we'll make random references to like, oh, this reminds me of the bubble gum with this, that, and the, you know, and that's totally fine. But like I said, maybe I don't have that reference that Keith may have, or, vice versa. Right. And so, it's just, like I said, you can definitely get too deep, up your own ass with these kind of rabbit holes.
It just depends. How much you want to geek out on it.
Yeah.
You can just say, I don't like it, and I don't care why I don't like it. I just don't like it. You can say, I don't like it, and I don't like it because it reminds me of this certain thing.
That's the best place to get to. Yeah. Is always like I don't like this. Cool. Why don't you like that? Like it? Because if you don't understand why you don't like it, then someone like, if you go to a place, like I said, there's some places here that make like amazing mixed drinks, and they'll do stuff like, oh, well, what flavor should we put in there? It's like, well, if you don't really know what to tell them, they're not going to do a good job. So anyway. Yep. I think the nose is opening up a little more sweetness is coming through. I would
think so.
Kind of that's that. Like I said, I definitely keep getting more of like, it's almost like it's not quite, gingerbread is way too far, but it's kind of getting into that
definitely a spicy
baked muffin or something like that, like some sort of muffin kind of aroma in there where there's a little bit of sweet, a little bit of that fruit is coming through.
Yep, no, that's for sure.
And then the taste is this is really good. Would I myself buy another bottle of this? Probably not. Just because of the price.
But it was a great gift.
It's an amazing gift that I'm going to enjoy the entire bottle through.
Yes. Well, except for this little bit that I have still. Yeah. Are you going to drink that?
Yeah. Are you finishing that?
Don't dump that down the sink.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Then you would owe me like $5. But yeah, no, that's like I said, that's definitely really good. The other thing I thought was interesting, one last little bit about this whiskey in particular, which I thought was interesting, and I was having to look up some info. It actually says on here Canadian rye whiskey. I was like, what?
So
I
it's
understand
from
'cause
Canadian
WhistlePig-
rye?
So I think it's probably one of those technicality things that they have to put on here because WhistlePig is based out of Vermont, at least their main distillery is.
Right.
But I guess the majority of their distilling actually is in Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, it's pretty close
It's
up
aged,
there.
yeah. From Alberta-based distillery in Canada is where they get it. So they have it distilled there in Canada. I don't know why this happens. Like I said, it might be because of whatever, how much farmland they have or whatever else. Who knows? Could be ease of use. But it gets distilled there and then gets imported back in. And then at the farm is where they do a lot of the finishing that we talked about with the Madeira, like I said, the sauternes and the port casks. So I don't know if they have to put that on there for some reason. Some of the really older versions, when I was looking for graphics, I took the time. And I don't think I
put them up there.
Look at that.
There
I actually
it
took
is.
the time to have the graphic, and then we didn't even put it up there. I don't think I put any of the graphics up, did I?
I don't know if you
don't
did.
think I did.
No, maybe the Pedro was up there. I think.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, in looking through these, there was a lot of ones that did not say Canadian rye, some of the older ones. So is Whistling the Pig cage-free? I mean, it could be.
Cage-free pigs.
Cage-free whistling of the pig.
Yes.
But yeah, this is... And so, like I said, and even though I talked about earlier too, that I like the higher proof stuff, I like more of those. I also sometimes it's you want to have some of those easy drinkers around too.
Yeah.
Because which that was the other thing I found the other day too. I didn't realize didn't realize I had something in the lower stash.
Oh,
it wasn't even a stash thing. It was I just had an unopened bottle of the Frey Ranch rye.
Oh,
That I
okay.
must have got from one of the collections, and I just like put it down there.
Kept
and then
going back.
that one has moved up because I was like, that one does not need to stay down here. I can find that anytime. So.
Right. That's an easier one to locate.
That's a good one too.
Oh, very much so.
Oh, well, so probably no podcast next week.
Yeah, I would think that's probably.
But the week after that or our next one we do, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Do you have any ideas?
Boy.
Is there anything that you've...
well, you had a cocktail idea?
I did. I have everything for that except the Dr. Pepper, which I could buy, which is not a problem.
Let's do that because I know we're about the cocktails right now.
We are lately about the cocktails.
And I'll see, if any... I mean, I've been enjoying wine on the weekend, so maybe
more toward
perhaps
the whites, though, I'm assuming?
yeah, probably a white or a rosé of some sort.
Anything in particular?
Nothing that I've got in mind at the moment.
Nice. You can't beat that. Someone holding a glass of wine right there. We did have wine earlier. It was good.
Yes.
Yeah, the WhistlePig was
you'll come
really
back from
good.
something
Crocodile.
in California.
It could be.
Maybe you'll find something delicious from Russian River.
I hope so.
Maybe
Yeah, we
you'll,
definitely usually try and find some random stuff out there. I'm sure we'll hopefully find some Pliny here and there. Hopefully we can make our trek next year. Will be part of the plan too.
Oh yeah, that's we are manifesting.
I like
currently.
That. I like that.
Putting it out there. Yes,
manifesting some destiny.
That's right.
Destiny manifesting. Looking for someone.
Anybody fun?
Looking for someone to go say hi to. Let's find out.
Well, pick anyone from ProneCon. Oh wait,
are
they
Prone
sober?
Streaming right now?
I don't know.
Prone's not streaming. See? No, I would have done that though.
Okay.
Would have done that. Oh my God! Look, perfect timing. Just as we're. There's no way. Are we still streaming? There's no way. Don't say anything in case we are. That was a wonderful little power outage.
At least it was at a good time.
Relative.
I see blue bars down there. The blue rectangles.
Are we back? Are we okay? Now we got to find out. TV's thinking about it. We've got lots of things going on here. I don't even know. Hold on. We got to pretend that we're still streaming because you never know. Are things still moving? Are we all right?
You are.
Everything is restarting. We hear you. Okay, I hear something.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, we had literally had just literally had a complete full
Never had
power
that
blip
happen.
right there.
At least I've never been here when that's happened.
We've had some smaller ones here and there, but that's why I have like the backup battery and everything else. Let's pause here for a second. You're back. Oh my okay. All right, we're back. All right, we never
It says
left.
no internet connection. That's weird.
Well, but that's for something else. I have, I have 2 internet connections.
Ah, yes. All right. Thanks
Scary.
for weathering
Yes,
that
yeah.
storm with
Yeah,
us.
that
We don't
was-
have any idea what happened.
Don't. There we go. We'll do that. You're
funny.
on. Okay.
Yikes. We hear you. Everything is restarting. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
We are here.
The little one. That's funny.
What?
Frosty.
Power went out. Everything is restarting. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I just got a message from my wife. She's like, "You're on? It's super windy." Oh, is it super windy outside? Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm surprised. That looks like that technically did not stop. Okay. So it may have kept going. We may have just lost that feed because that's still recording and that's still going. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, let's close these.
Well, thanks for weathering that storm with us, everybody.
Yeah, that was,
we appreciate
was
that.
literally a storm right there.
Ooh.
My chimes. Oh, do I have to go out and get your chimes now? Oh my God. That happens way too often. All right, let's move this over here so I can actually see it. All right, well, we should probably host someone quickly here before the world explodes.
Yes.
Let's see who is. Oh, all right, they're doing. Get that right over there. That is definitely one of the benefits of the backup battery right there.
Is that me? Ooh, spooky.
No, he means
oh,
over
okay.
here.
Oh, okay.
Means over here.
Spooky vision. About 350.
How rude. All right. We are going to go say hi to Blau right now. Blau's playing some PGA Tour 2K23. He's also doing some charity streaming stuff.
Oh, that sounds
Exclamation
good.
point, donate. Go say hi to him. It is super windy outside, so we're going to, like I said, again, wrap this thing up right now. So let's go say hi to him. He is super nice. Make sure you are following. He plays a lot of sports games, also plays some Destiny. I played some Cyberpunk at one time as well, so good variety thing. We will be very safe, but thank you guys all for being here. We
yes, thank you, everybody. We appreciate it, especially all the numerous attendees of ProneCon.
I know, exactly.
Jumping in early, so thank you very much, everyone.
ProneCon attendees, exactly. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, and we will see you
in a couple
in
weeks.
a couple weeks.
See him tomorrow.
See me tomorrow. That's true.